the escalating rhetoric coming from Iran, with reports now saying that the IRGC has warned of trapping the so-called enemy forces in what it calls deadly whirlpools in the Strait of Hormuz. This statement now adds to the rising tensions in the region, where the strategic waterway remains a key flashpoint for global shipping as well as security concerns. So while the Strait of Hormuz, of course, is a very critical energy choke point, now we are being told that Iran also is watching the movement of the Americans very closely. While Donald Trump claims that they are going to step in to the Strait of Hormuz and try to demine it, you'd remember, like I just said, even the military installations of the Americans were attacked. So what makes it, what guarantee is there that the American ships would not be attacked by Iran? Because Iran is now claiming that they are also going to track, or rather trap, the American installations, not just on land, but also on sea. With that, more breaking news coming in. In fact, the IRGC Navy has now said that the Strait of Hormuz remains open for civilian vessels under what it calls smart control. However, it has also warned that any military vessels approaching the strait would be treated as a ceasefire violation and also met with a severe response. Now, this statement adds to the rising tensions in the strategically vital waterway, which remains a key focus amid the ongoing regional military and diplomatic developments. So Iran making it clear that no American vessels or no American military vessels that are entering the Strait of Hormuz for any demining purpose would actually be safe. Iran making it clear, Rishabh, who's still with us on the broadcast. Rishabh, Iran making it quite clear that yes, the civilian vessels are safe at the moment, but that won't be the case for the American military ships that step in.
Well, Rohit, one thing is very clear. The war is far from over. There is a pause, definitely. The talks have failed. The back channel talks continue. What mistake that Pakistan made sure happens here was to call the top leadership of both the sides. If you get the top leadership to sit on the table on the day one, when you know that there are differences and there are a lot of issues that needed to be discussed beforehand between the two sides, before the two leaders come and sit. You know, you have the vice president and the foreign minister and the speaker of assembly coming on the table without the differences being discussed and marked out, showcases that it was quite a hasty negotiation process that was brought in. And given that this has failed, there is no cushion left for further more direct talks between US and Iran. Now, one thing is very clear. Iran says that Strait of Hormuz is open. By saying that, it is deflecting any international pressure coming on them, because countries like India, countries like other countries in Asia, or for that matter African countries, they are heavily dependent on the Gulf oil that comes in from the countries that that needs to cross the Persian Gulf and eventually the Strait of Hormuz to reach the receiving countries. So while civilian tankers are safe to move is coming in from Iran, it is very clear message that we do not want to escalate, but we do not want to entertain any U.S. presence near our territory as well. That is something that Tehran wants to put in. Now, a naval blockade has been announced by Donald Trump, so it would be interesting to see what Monday morning brings us.
Right, absolutely. So Iran and the United States, of course, now keeping a very close watch on the developments and the movement of the vessels at the Strait of Hormuz. But another threat for the Americans could be the fact that the Iranians are also now trying to bypass the dollar, because Iran has asked for the toll in Hormuz in cryptocurrency. Now, this could also be a reason why Donald Trump is concerned, because crypto can obviously bypass global banking rails, and this will be harder for the United States to track or freeze the funds. What it also does is cuts the reliance on dollar-based transactions, and now the payments can be made within seconds. Is this why Donald Trump is also concerned with the toll that is being charged by Iran in the Strait of Hormuz? Is something that remains to be seen.